Welcome back to the Enfield Talking newspaper. Now we return to local news with Janet.
A 40-strong team have raised almost £10,000 for charity by cycling from London to Amsterdam in 3 days. Calling themselves Tour Dodo, after Enfield Ignatius Rugby Club mascots, the friends swapped the rugby pitch for the open road as they set off on Wednesday, July the 29th, to cycle 350 miles and raise money for 3 charities close to their hearts. Organiser Robin Richards, who works as an underwriter, explained that the team name refers to the mascot of Enfield Ignatius Rugby Club, since many of the cyclists are members. Before setting off, he said, "This is going to be a challenging ride for the group of amateur cyclists, but it's for 3 great charities which will benefit greatly from the money raised. Let's hope the notorious Dutch winds are behind us and not in front." One cyclist nominated Diabetes UK to receive donations, as he himself was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at 16 months old. The team are also supporting Alzheimer's Society after another cyclist's mother was diagnosed soon after her retirement. Enfield Radio Marathon Charity, which supports young people with learning disabilities, will also receive a share of donations. The team hope to complete the ride in Amsterdam after cycling for 3 days. They crossed from France into Belgium on July the 30th, sharing a photo on the Enfield Ignatius Facebook page.
The Times and Independent series is on the lookout for a special project to support with a cash donation. Grants are being offered by the Gannett Foundation, the charitable arm of the owner of NewsQuest Media Group, who published the Times and Independent series. The foundation provides funding to support local projects and organisations in areas where NewsQuest operates throughout the UK. In the past 10 years, the foundation has given more than £4 million worth of grants in the UK. The foundation values projects that bring lasting benefit to the communities and neighbourhoods served by our newspapers. That includes schemes for neighbourhood improvement and local problem solving, economic development, youth development, education and cultural creativity, help for the disadvantaged or disabled, and environmental conservation. Typically, our grants are made for substantial projects which require and merit awards of between £5,000 and £10,000. Last year, Demelza Hospice in Eltham received a £9,353 grant for a magic carpet, an interactive projection system that allows a child to play and interact with any form of scenery or shapes displayed on the floor. The hospice cares for children from across South London who have life-threatening or life-limiting conditions. Laura Smith, Senior Trust fundraiser, said, "It's absolutely amazing. It's going to make so much difference to the families. We've been saving for this for over a year." The foundation will consider more modest applications, but it encourages imaginative and ambitious projects on a bigger scale. The foundation can join with other contributors to support elements of larger projects. Prospective applicants must be registered charities and must not have received Gannett funding in the past 2 years. The foundation will not fund salaries, professional fees or day-to-day running or maintenance costs, general appeals as opposed to specific projects, projects that do not bring benefits to local communities, political or religious organisations, state or privately run schools other than special needs, or hospitals other than hospices. We will favour projects that demonstrate good planning, oversight and financial responsibility. You must supply copies of your most recent accounts where required by the Charities Commission, or other appropriate financial information, together with any supporting materials and details of your organisation's managing committee. To apply for a Gannett Foundation grant from this office, the charity must be served by the Enfield Independent, the Harrow Times, the Hendon and Finchley Times, the Barnet and Potters Bar Times, the Edgware and Mill Hill Times, the Boreham Wood and Elstree Times, or the Tottenham and Wood Green Independent. If you wish to receive an application form, email kelly.pells@london.newsquest.co.uk. Please note we will only accept electronic applications. The closing date for nominations for a Gannett grant is October the 16th.
Manager Bradley Quinton is hoping that his Enfield Town side can make a fast start to the season as they prepare to launch their Ryman League Premier Division campaign. Although Town would have finished fifth and qualified for the playoffs last season had it not been for their controversial 3-point deduction for fielding an ineligible player, they had found themselves playing catch-up after only picking up 4 points from their first 6 games. Believing that Town have the ability to again challenge for promotion, he is targeting a good run of results in the opening weeks of the campaign. The start of the season has come round really fast, and the boys are looking forward to it, he said. It is important to try and get off to a good start, and the guys need to be switched on from the first minute, but it is a long old season. We've set out our aims and expectations for the season, and I'm confident we can achieve them and prove that we are again one of the best teams in the division. Our fans are always very important to us, and it's great that we're starting with a home game. Tunbridge finished well last season. They are a very dogged side who know how to look after themselves, and it should be a good match. Meanwhile, Town rounded off their pre-season programme with a thrilling 4-3 victory in a feisty encounter at Thurrock. The hosts took an early lead, but Town hit back and levelled the scores soon after. Thurrock responded and went back ahead twice more, but the visitors again battled back well, and Claudio Vilo and Corey Whiteley grabbed further equalisers. And it was Town who struck the decisive blow when they went ahead for the only time, Nathan Libbings firing into the net with help from the post. I thought that the boys conducted themselves very well, Quinton added. Thurrock tried to kick us off the park, which was a bit disappointing in a friendly, but we played some good stuff in the second half and could have scored 8 or 9. Town also enjoyed a 2-0 victory over a youthful Crystal Palace 11 in their friendly at the Queen Elizabeth Stadium.
Spurred on by her mother, a pub worker has faced the chop after 7 years of growing her hair to help raise money for charity. Kerry Simmons, pub manager at the Picture Palace in Ponders End, cut her locks after being inspired by her mother Denise, who was diagnosed with blood cancer, which has now spread to her brain, being given just weeks to live. Talking about her experiences, Ms. Simmons said, "It was tough when we first found out and she was only given a couple of weeks to live, but she has been positive and living her life as much as she can. That's when I thought I should do something to help raise some money for charity in honour of her." So far, raising more than £250 for Click Sargent, her children's cancer charity, Ms. Simmons revealed her mother thought she was mad to have her hair cut down to a bob. She said, "She thinks I'm mad to have my hair cut off, but she will like it when she sees it. I haven't had it this short in a very long time, but I know I've done it for a good cause." The trepidation was evident in Miss Simmons' facial expressions as the plaited hair was snipped off. Getting the dreaded trim in Tony and Guy in Church Street, Enfield Town, Miss Simmons said her mother has been spending her time with her 3 grandchildren and was proud of her taking the chair to have the cut. Her hair will now be used to create wigs for children who have lost their hair in their battle with cancer.
A man currently serving a jail term for money laundering in connection with running an illegal poker den in Palmer's Green has been ordered by a court to repay £50,000 or have it seized. The Big Bluff Private Members Club in Green Lanes had been a front for an unlicensed gambling den until it was raided and closed in September 2012. Its former owner, Ahmed Merlin, 35, from Cheshunt, Hertfordshire, was ordered by a judge to forfeit his £50,000 assets at a hearing at Wood Green Crown Court last week. The court estimated he had made more than £400,000 during the time the club was operating and ruled that should any further assets be discovered, he would have to forfeit those as well. Merlin was jailed for 15 months at the same court in April after being found guilty of 5 offences of money laundering. He was prosecuted by Enfield Council after the local authorities' licensing enforcement and trading standards team, the Gambling Commission and the Metropolitan Police raided the venue. They had suspected the premises were being used as an illegal poker club and not as a non-profit-making private members club, as Merlin had claimed, when the council had granted its club gaming permit. The trial heard that he had a long-standing involvement with gambling and that the operation had been illegal from the outset, with professional gamblers using the venue. Commercial poker operations require a casino license, and the council's policy is not to issue them. His trial also heard that instead of reinvesting money made in the private members club as the gaming permit stipulated, he was withdrawing cash, paying it into his own account and seeking to conceal it by falsifying accounts and the minutes of meetings. Because Big Bluff was running large poker tournaments and all the profits from them were illegal, they amounted to criminal assets which could be seized under the Proceeds of Crime Act. Daniel Anderson, the council's cabinet member for the environment, said, "I'm pleased that because of Enfield Council's tenacity, the court has ordered this individual to forfeit $50,000 of his criminally obtained money, and we will of course seek to recover more if we discover he has further assets which have been concealed from the court. We will not tolerate illegal behaviour in Enfield and will continue to take firm action against anyone stupid enough to break the law. This decision clearly shows that crime does not pay, and where people seek to make profit from illegal activities, we will always seek to recover the cash so the people involved do not profit from it." The Gambling Commission's Director of Regulatory Operations said, "This is an excellent example of how local authority with Commission support is dealing with illegal gambling in whatever guise it is represented."
A horse riding champion has bagged 3 gold medals at one of the biggest sporting competitions in the world. Georgina Maton, 26, who lives in Enfield, won gold in dressage, trail and equitation in the course of the Special Olympics held in Los Angeles in California. Georgina started begging her parents for horse riding lessons when she was just 5 years old. Georgina was forced to deal with bullies at school, and horse riding provided a refuge for her. She worked her way up with her trainer Sarah Morland, from wobbly beginner to fully fledged equestrian athlete. The gold medalist's proud mum, Barbara, told the Advertiser, "Georgina always has a big smile on her face after dealing with horses," adding that from an early age it was clear that she had an affinity with the animals. And this has paid off after coach Sarah said of Georgina's performance in the dressage division that she rode an incredibly harmonious test with an incredible 81% score. The triple gold is the culmination of 2 years of hard training since Georgina was selected to compete with the GB team at the Games. Although she celebrated in relatively restrained style with an all-American breakfast of pancakes and bacon, Georgina admitted she was really pleased and added that she wished she could take home the horse she won her raft of medals with. However, with a $30,000 price tag, her mum and dad suggested she could put it on her Christmas wish list. Following her stellar success for the GB team, Georgina's parents are hoping that a sponsor will come forward to help their daughter continue on the road to elite athlete status.
A stitch-up with plenty of laughs took place as embroiders weaved their way into the fabric of 40 Hall. Celebrating National Stitch Day at the Big Stitch, the textile enthusiasts spun their way through Saturday afternoon to produce eye-watering embroidered delights resembling cakes and confectionery at the historic mansion in 40 Hill, Enfield. The open event was run by the Enfield and District branch of the Embroiders Guild, part of an interconnected group of organisations across the country keeping alive the art of needlework. Programme Secretary Dr. Chris Fraser said the day ran very successfully, bringing together enthusiasts, whether they be first-timers or experts. While participants were able to take away their creations, members of the public can see more handiwork at an exhibition celebrating the Victorian kitchen garden at the 40 Hall Estate from Tuesday, September the 1st.
An impressive total of 6 competitors from Enfield and Haringey Athletic Club have been named in the Great Britain squad for the forthcoming World Championships in Beijing. The British selectors have announced a 62-strong squad for the showpiece event, which gets underway later this month, and Enfield and Haringey have secured the second highest representation of any club in the country. Rising sprint star Chindu Uja has been included in both the 100 metres and the 4x100 metre relay, following an impressive run of results which has seen him being crowned British champion over the distance for the first time before he equalled his personal best of 9.96 seconds on his way to finishing 4th in the Sainsbury's Anniversary Games in Stratford. Delano Williams has been selected in the 4x400 metres relay, while Margaret Adoy and Bianca Williams will both run in the women's 200 metres. Desiree Henry has been named in the women's 4x100 metres relay squad alongside Bianca Williams, and Adoy is joined in the women's 4x400 metres relay by recently crowned European junior champion Lavi Nielsen.
Thousands of pounds was raised as staff and students flocked to a summer fete. Parents and children from the Cuckoo Hall Academy's Trust's 5 schools, as well as the wider community, came together for its annual summer fete. More than 1,000 students, staff and parents attended the fun-filled afternoon, which included bouncy castles and an inflatable assault course. Also on offer was a range of stalls run by staff and students, including the crowd favourite Beat the Goalie. The fete provided the opportunity for staff and students to gather together and celebrate the end of the school year with their friends and family. A total of $2,500 was raised to be split between the schools, which include Cuckoo Hall, Woodpecker Hall, Kingfisher Hall, Heron Hall and Enfield Heights Academies to support new educational initiatives for its students.
Cilla Black was a sensation on her London debut in Enfield. The singer and TV presenter, who died suddenly, made her first appearance in the capital at the Old Granada, a cinema in Edmonton Green that also hosted stage shows. She was brought to the capital by Beatles manager Brian Epstein, who saw her perform. Charles Stringer, then managing director of Granada Theatres, watched the concert with him. Mr. Stringer said it was a sensation. Although she wasn't well known, she was part of the Beatles scene. Brian Epstein wanted to see how she went down in London because she was a Liverpool star. Mr. Stringer, now 89, of Hertford, hopes some local people can recall the concert in 1963 or 1964. Were you there at Cilla Black's first London gig? Email your memories to victoria.oliphant@london.newsquest.co.uk.
Enfield earned a creditable draw with leaders Eastcote in their Middlesex County Cricket League Division 2 home game. After losing the toss, Enfield were put into bat and the side managed to score 191 all out. Sam Wilson top scored with 55 and Jack Plum made a decent contribution, hitting 54 for the hosts. Eastcote found it hard going during the run chase and were in trouble as they finished on 176 for 8. Ryan Cunningham impressed with the ball, taking 4 for 59 as Enfield more than held their own against the table toppers. Enfield's seconds were also held to a draw against Barnes in the seconds Division 2. After winning the toss, Enfield put their opponents into bat, but Barnes were in impressive form as they ran up a total of 257 for 9. Second-placed Enfield never threatened to surpass this total, but managed to hold on for a draw as they scored 186 for 8 from 47 overs. Winchmore Hill romped to an 8-wicket win over Harrow Town in Division 3. Harrow were put into bat, and a strong bowling display from James Gagan, taking 6 for 30, helped dismiss the opposition for 152. In reply, James Gatting led the way with an unbeaten 79, and Charlie Holmes also finished on 54 not out as Winchmore Hill reached the target for the loss of 2 wickets in 29 overs. In the seconds Division 2, bottom side Winchmore Hill crashed to a 5-wicket home defeat to Indian Gymkhana. The hosts lost the toss and were put into bat. Despite 51 from Tim Royal, Winchmore Hill crumbled to 125 all out in 47 overs. Indian Gymkhana duly punished them as they reached the target with Bear in.
An Enfield artist is exhibiting her work at a gallery in London this summer. Thousands of art lovers will view Anne McNeill Pulati's work at the Gallery in the Crypt, St Martin's in the Field, the church off Trafalgar Square. Inside Out, Outside In, an exhibition by 3 Quaker women artists, is free and runs until Sunday the 6th of September. Anne, who teaches at an Enfield secondary school, has been an artist since 1988. She said, "As a Quaker, I direct my energies into painting my spiritual beliefs through imagery. My most recent work is based on figures in a landscape, a metaphorical storyteller for the journey of life. Quaker testimonies ask us to live adventurously. The process of exhibiting my art has its own anxieties, but it's a way of sharing my faith. I hope to provoke curiosity in people's own life journeys." Anne, who attends Winchmore Hill Quaker meeting, added, "Much of my work has been based on portraiture and figures in a landscape. The figures move through a surreal landscape of doors, openings and pathways, travelling alone or with others, changing in scale and size, colour and position. I particularly enjoy painting children." The 3 Quaker artists, Anne, Isa Levy and Carolyn Jariwala, are from Christian, Jewish and Hindu backgrounds. All share a search for truth.
There were giggles galore as hundreds of youngsters and grown-ups enjoyed fun in the sun in the spectacular parkland surroundings of 40 Hall, Enfield's Jacobean mansion. The Children's Family Fun Day was organised as part of Love Parks Week, a nationwide celebration of the country's green spaces, and was held in conjunction with the Friends of 40 Hall Park. A variety of enjoyable fun activities and sports had youngsters queuing up to have a go. Adrenaline junkies could try the recreational sport of zorb rolling, over and over suspended inside a giant inflatable transparent plastic ball, while younger children could try hooking a plastic duck to win a prize, try their hand at croquet on the lawn, and join in keep fit sessions, get creative in art workshops, or simply have fun making new friends.
A record-holding hula-hooping trio put on a dizzying performance as part of Superhero Day. Hoop La La, the famed circus trio who reached the Britain's Got Talent semi-finals in 2008, wowed shoppers at Enfield Palace Gardens with a Hula Heroes show to a backing song of Bonnie Tyler's I Need a Hero. Hundreds of children also gave hula hooping a whirl under the performers' expert tuition. But it wasn't just children getting into the spirit, as Pearson's staff rivaled the children's costumes and joined them for activities. Ellis Hadsey, who works in the toy department, knitted his own Batman outfit for the occasion. Even those who couldn't quite get the knack of hula hooping had a chance to show off their special powers through workshops and a competition for the best outfit. Captain Jack Sparrow sailed into Palace Gardens for Pirate Day, featuring a comedy show from pirates in men's pants and art workshops.
More football fans may be able to cheer on their team as a club submits planning permission to extend its stadium. Barnet Football Club, who play at the Hive Stadium in Camrose Avenue, Edgware, have submitted a planning application to Harrow Council to allow for the extension of its North Stand. The North Stand would be used as a dedicated area for away fans and would be in keeping with the scale and appearance of the newly renovated West Stand. Despite the club's recent promotion, it does not expect the number of fans attending matches to exceed 5,176.
We have reached the end of our programme for this week. Thank you for listening. So from the team of Janet, Sally, Colin and Keith, and Colin on the controls, it's goodbye.
Goodbye.
Please remember to turn over the address label in your postal packet, put the cassette into the packet and return it to us as soon as possible, in readiness for the next edition. Don't forget you can call Diane de Jersey regarding any help you may require in connection with Enfield Talking Newspaper. The Enfield Talking Newspaper will be with you again in 1 week's time.